Hello there, this is just a real quick video about doing some servicing on this Technics SL-BD27. This is a low-end turntable. They're very common, you can find them on eBay. This one doesn't have a dust cover, which was pretty common for setups where this turntable came with a bunch of other equipment in a stack. They were usually sold inside of a cabinet, so there was no separate dust cover for the turntable. But there was a version of this that was sold with the dust cover. I believe this one has a -U at the end of it, which means it came with other equipment. This turntable uses the Technics P24 P-mount style cartridge. There aren't too many manufacturers still making P-mount cartridges anymore, but Audio-Technica is one of them. This cartridge, the AT92E, is probably their best replacement. In fact, this is the AT92 ECD version of that cartridge. They have a couple different versions out there. It's very easy to swap the cartridge on a P-mount. You just remove this screw right here and the cartridge pulls out. The nice thing about a P-mount is you don't need to worry about the alignment or the anti-skate or even the tracking force. They should all be preset to 1.25 grams. However, on this particular turntable, there is a caveat to that. This is the weight on the back of the tone arm of this turntable. You can see there's an adjustment screw here, and there's a spring inside that will push this washer back and forth as you adjust the screw. So you can change the tracking force, and I believe there is normally a plastic cap here, and mine was not present, which, because it wasn't there, it actually increased the tracking force, and I had to adjust it to bring it back out. So look at yours and see if this plastic piece is missing, and if it is, then you may need to make this adjustment so that it's back to 1.25 as it should be. However, if you want to keep the stock cartridge, you can. It's a decent cartridge. You can still get aftermarket styluses for it. The spherical stylus goes for as little as $12, as much as $20 or so. You can also get an elliptical stylus from Turntable Needles or any of the other aftermarket vendors. They'll put on various diamonds on these. One thing about switching from a spherical to an elliptical is the anti-skate does change a bit, and because these are fixed anti-skate, you can't adjust them. So if you end up with one of these turntables, apart from buying a new stylus for it, you'll most likely need to change the belt. Now, if it's not turning at all, that's probably the reason. If it is working, it's still worthwhile to pick up a new belt for it. Changing the belt is really easy. Simply remove the platter mat, and you rotate the platter until you can see the motor pulley right there, and there's the belt. Just unhook the belt from the motor and snap it back to the platter, and then lift the platter straight up. There you can see the belt is just sitting around the platter. If the belt falls off, if it doesn't have enough tension to stay on the pulley by itself, then you know it's stretched and definitely needs to be replaced. This is a new belt. This is the auto return mechanism. This is a semi-automatic turntable. When it reaches the end of the record, it will pick up the stylus, move back to the parking position, and set it down. The way this auto return system works is fairly simple and common. As the tone arm moves over, this lever will kick this cam over, which will be grabbed by the spindle here, which will start turning this gear. And that pulls this large lever in, which is what swings the tone arm back over. I've never had to relubricate this mechanism. It still has its original grease and it still works fine. So there are a couple of other adjustments for this tone arm. One is the cueing lift height, which is a small brass screw down in this hole right here. And the other is the stop position, when the turntable will automatically return the tone arm. You can set that position by removing this plug right here. And down in this hole you'll see a white screw that you can use with a flathead screwdriver with. Very small adjustments to make to set that, and you can set it with the platter on. So this is the bottom of the turntable. I have it up on a box to protect the tone arm. I just wanted to show the location of the speed adjustments. This is a DC servo speed control circuit, and there are two trim pots, one for each speed. They are accessible through these two small holes here. Not these big ones, but these smaller two. This is right opposite of the speed control switch, which is right here. The trouble with having it on the bottom is it's tricky to adjust, but they did put it right at the edge, so you can slide it off the edge to a table and reach up in there and adjust it. There is a bearing down here that the platter spins on. There's a little plastic tab here that holds that spindle in place. You can carefully bend this, push this out of the way, and pull the spindle up, and put a little oil on there if it feels like it's not smooth. To put the platter back on, set it on the spindle, grab the belt, snap it around the motor, spin it around a couple times to make sure it stays in place. Still there. That's it. Put the platter mat back on. Test it out. We plug it in, approach the platter with the tone arm, and it should turn on automatically. As you approach the center of the record, the auto return mechanism will grab it and set it down. It's a little herky-jerky because it's out of balance because I don't have the stylus on. And that's it. I hope you found this helpful.